Ladies, man, do you have any other questions or things that you're puzzled about? I was just curious if you had any other questions or things that you're curious about you'd like to discuss.
I kind of just came here listening to y'all talk, and no one's really talking, so you know,
Yep.
not much
Well,
happening here.
a lot of times the new people kind of drive the conversation. I'm not putting the pressure on you or anything like that. It's just if people want to discuss the topic, it helps move things along.
Sure, I'll discuss the topic, I guess. What do you have for me to? Or is it like you come with the questions, I'm meant to answer them, or I'm coming with the questions and you're meant to answer them? Or is it
I mean, it can go either way. Typically what we are looking for is something we can point to, like a measurement of Earth curvature that would lend some credence to the whole story. You know, um, do you know anybody that might have that?
have what? Oh, like measurements of Earth curvature?
Yeah,
Hmm. This is a it's an interesting question. I can't name off the top of my head, but also on the top of my head, I don't know anyone that's a flat earther besides Discord usernames, so, you know.
oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's what we're after. If anybody's actually measured this place, to see if it's curving. Because I have some friends that are surveyors, and they all measure it flat. My brother-in-law, he's a mechanical and civil engineer. So he does surveys of rivers, and their elevation profile, where they start in the mountains and end up, in the oceans, and he measures it flat.
Is
So
he a flat earther?
uh, no, not at all. Um, he drinks the Kool Aid just like everybody else. But it is interesting that even he confesses, along with my surveyor friends, that yeah, we always measure the Earth, or the distances, or the areas that we survey, is always according to a horizontal datum. And so they take that data and they plot it, and they have an elevation profile that is completely horizontal at its base, at its destination. We'll call that sea level. But everything, the fall rate, or the descent, um, the elevation of the rivers, and the topography of the Earth is always flat. You could say, well, okay, so they measure areas flat, but maybe the whole Earth is still curved. Well, okay, well, where is that? If we're measuring it flat but it's curved, where's the curved bit? It's kind of a problem.
I see. Interesting. Maybe maybe I'll become a civil engineer, see for myself, see what I
Yeah,
see. Maybe I'll be an astronaut. Doubt that, but I can try. I only live once, you know.
astronaut. Okay, so you're gonna navigate the stars.
I don't think they navigate stars. That's a little far.
Well, that's what the term astronaut basically means. Nautical, right? Star, nautical,
Just like
astronaut.
I know, but it's like they don't actually navigate. I mean, I guess they could use the stars, but it's like the Apollo program. Apollo, like the Roman god, I believe, like that he didn't have anything to do with it. They just named it after him.
Sure. So, since no one's navigating any stars, this idea of going to, let's say, outer space, this extremely vacuous region. And we had a guy in here just a second ago talking about gas laws, right? Um, there's a reason, if there is some kind of vacuous region well beyond the surface of the Earth, why the gas isn't filling that available volume, because there is no gravity to keep the gas here, so it should be filling the space to come to an equilibrium state.
Didn't we like this already? Like,
Sorry, say again.
yeah. Didn't we like talk about the gas already with like gravity and stuff? And then then the other guy explained the fabric model, and then I added on to that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, those are great stories. They don't hold any bearing in reality. There is no fabric. There is no mass attracting mass. It's just these are just ideas, just conjurings of someone's imagination.
Oh, so I'd ask. I mean, I'm guessing like I want to ask like. I mean, I think I already know the answer. Like the obvious questions, like is the most common question you guys get, why would they lie?
It's one of the more common questions. Yes.
Fair, but to categorize it as a question is being too charitable. It's actually a code.
Ladies, man, get a better mic. I don't have much
Hey,
money.
you don't sound too bad.
It's just the volume. It's hard to hear on the YouTube stream, apparently. Maybe
could,
if you could talk
talk
just
loud.
a little bit louder.
Yeah, I can talk loud.
That's better, man. That's good.
All right. So you guys said why would they lie is like the most common question.
No, it's one of the more common questions. I mean, there's many, but it's up there. Yeah, it's usually where when people ask that, they have already accepted, sort of in their mind, that what we are saying is observable reality, is their experience. So they've already come up with in their mind, well, then somebody actually has to be lying. So they're asking us why we think other people would be lying, and we actually can't answer that question. I don't know what people's motivations truly are, but usually when they ask that question, they have a suspicion that someone has lied to them.
I see. Yeah. How about I think another common question would probably be that you guys might get is, why is the Earth the only planet that's flat while all the other ones are spheres? Well, I know you guys
Yeah.
know that's like not true. I'm just saying, like, is that?
Well, it's got a baked-in assumption, right?
Yeah.
So when they say other planets, they're still envisioning some kind of quote unquote solar system where there are these, gas giants and big balls of dust just kind of hurling through the vacuous region of space around a plate Earth and the sun. Like they're all going around the sun, but somehow the Earth is a plate in the middle of all that, or a disk. It's a bad assumption because all of that is predicated on the Earth being a sphere.
Yeah. Is there? Hmm. Right. I guess another question: do the people? Or actually, I don't think you guys would know. I think I already know the answer to that. I don't know what other questions I could ask.
Well, you could take a review of the questions you just asked.
Take a review. Why would they lie? Like that?
Yeah, so that just think about those questions that you just asked. They're actually questions that have to do with agency. They don't actually have to do with the material facts, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you go to a house and you see that it has ugly wallpaper, you might ask yourself, "Whoa, my goodness, why did they choose this wallpaper? Why?" Okay, that's a question that can never be answered, especially if the people who did it are dead. You never know the answer to the why. Now, you do know they did it. You do know that the wallpaper is the wallpaper. You do know that they bought it at Home Depot or whatever. You can know all the material facts, but the why question is irrelevant to any of those facts.
Yeah. I mean,
So for example, check this assumption that's baked into the why would Earth be the only flat planet. One of the big assumptions that they have is a creation story about how everything came into being in the past. And they assume that everything came into being by naturalistic processes. And so there's no specific agency between any of the structures we observe in the cosmos, which they include the Earth as one of. Now that's interesting. That means they're having a presuppositional metaphysical bias before they even ask the question. So, for example, if the Earth was designed by an intelligent agent, regardless of who it was, it could be an alien, it could be Cthulhu, it could be a god of take your pick of any religion, right? Then the why is because that entity wished it so. He designed it, he made it, he picked the ugly wallpaper. I'm sorry, I can't tell you his motives.
All right. How about I don't know. The biggest thing I've always wanted to do is just like see with my own eyes for myself to like truly like at least for me to know. Like let's say I try if I become an astronaut and they say you're gonna have to fake it, I'm instantly telling everyone. But I can't be the only person.
You think it's that easy? You think it's that easy, brother?
No, it's not. I know that, but that's why I put "if" in the beginning of that sentence.
No. You're missing it. You're missing it, brother. It's not about if you become an astronaut. It's about if they allow you to be an astronaut. You see the difference?
If they allow you. Well,
yeah. So, for example, nobody's allowed. Check this out, brother. Nobody's allowed into an elite club without being vetted and insured against. If you know what I mean by that. So, for example, they're not going to let you be an astronaut when they've got nothing to hold over you. They're not going to let you into the high ranks of the CIA when they got nothing to hold over you. It's not how it works. You don't get into those positions unless they have leverage against you.
Blackmail?
Yeah, well, yeah, or credible threat. You know, like for example, you may not know this dude, but one of the so-called astronauts before they went to the moon said, "Hey, we can't go to the moon, and hey, we can't communicate because the technology we have doesn't even work on Earth. So how do we expect it to work in space?"
Are you
And
talking
he
about
said,
the
"The stuff
Apollo
we
1
have."
astronaut?
Dude, I'm talking about Gus Grissom, who,
Yeah,
for all
Apollo 1
intents and
astronaut.
purposes, was assassinated. He was assassinated because he was against the program. And there's evidence that his wife has and other people had that they witnessed with their own eyes that he was planned against and killed. Right? And now, interestingly enough, the other astronauts, guess what? One of their moms died in nefarious circumstances.
How about Buzz Aldrin?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently she committed suicide because she was so nervous about her son being famous. Now, you put everything together, dude, and you think about all the clandestine nature of everything, it's obvious to anybody with 2 cents in their brain that they killed her. I mean, now, can I conclusively prove that? No. Is it highly probable? Yes. But the point I'm trying to tell you is it's not simply the case that you arrive at this elite position of power where you know things that nobody else knows, and then you're just free to speak without consequences. And those consequences, if you're a man of any integrity, you know, they're going to be a hard burden to bear. It's like, listen, we're going to kill your whole family, and we're going to peel your kid alive and make you watch. What are you going to do about that? I mean, think about it. You'd have to get a whole army on your side before you pull the trigger on telling the truth, wouldn't you? And then you'd have to have your family safe from all the organizations and all, you know, it just, the list goes on and on. It's not as simple. But even then, it's like, who's going to believe you? Think about it now. Like, what credibility do you have? Even if you have photographic evidence, they're just going to discount your photographic evidence.
You guys believe me?
Well, if you went up high and you said, "I saw the Earth as flat," and you came back down, you'd just be saying the same thing that actual astronauts have said. Actual astronauts, the people who went up high, have actually said that the Earth looks flat from their position already. So you'd be doing nothing new.
All right.
So, ladies, men, can I safely assume, and you can tell me, that you believe you do already live on a sphere, Earth?
Okay, I want to say like the truth of that question, which is yes. I'm afraid I'm just gonna get like into another debate with you guys, which I know is not gonna end well with me.
No. This is tying into the question that you, or maybe it wasn't a question, but just the statement that you made. Until I get to a certain height and see it for myself, I'm probably not going to believe it. Was that kind of what you were saying?
No, I'm just saying I don't know for sure, and like you guys probably aren't gonna convince me that the whole shape of the Earth, like it's a big thing, you know. It's not just like picking Skittles or M&Ms. Like,
Well, I understand that. But, once again, nobody here claimed any shape. We're just talking about the surface that we dwell atop. So, I'm not trying to take a shot at you, but you have already kind of accepted a paradigm with zero firsthand knowledge of that paradigm. So you believe that you live on a sphere Earth that is hurling through an ever expanding vacuum, with none of that being part of your actual experience. In fact, your firsthand experience, and this is not me gaslighting you, I know that this is all of our experience, is that you experience the Earth as a stationary, level surface where there's up and down and you breathe air. And so all of the things that you experience are of a stationary, planar, enclosed Earth.
yeah.
That's your firsthand experience. And yet you believe something almost completely contrary to that.
Well, hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just wondering how did this come to? Like, people didn't say the Earth was a sphere for no reason, just to say it. How like this came to us as a species for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's going to be a question about agency. Why did they do it? Well, that doesn't change the material fact, just like AI was telling you. So the experience and the empirical evidence that we have points to and affirms a flat, stationary, enclosed Earth. What people's motivations are for telling you that it's something completely different, I cannot tell you that. I could speculate, and I'd probably be pretty close about their motivations. But I'm not here to convince you about where you live. That's not my job. My job, or at least it's not really a job, right? My passion or my goal is for people to just consider their actual experience and how the Earth is measured, and then they're going to have to be able to do whatever they can or what they want with that. You make your own decisions, but obviously you realize there is sort of a decision process going on here. You're presented with two different paradigms. One of them is experienced, one of them is imagined, and most people choose the imaginary one.
I mean, even if I become a flat earther, let's say by some chance I do, like I'm not. I can't tell anyone really.
Why not? I mean, I understand. Listen, I understand what you're saying. People reject people who leave the flock or believe something different than the herd, right? So there's a problem where people go, well, if I live by this particular paradigm, which is not the norm, then I'm going to maybe be ostracized or looked at differently, and it's much safer within the herd, right?
Well, listen, we got a problem here. Let's go back to one of your earlier statements, friend. You said, I don't know any flat earthers except Discord. Now, that's not a true statement. You don't know that any people that you know are flat earthers or not. That's the actual truth. You couldn't tell me out of the 17 people, let's just say you know 17 people, you couldn't tell me for sure that they're not flat earthers for the very same reason that you just said. Well, if the earth was flat, I couldn't tell anyone. Well, what if they already accept the earth is flat, but they feel the same way? And they're just waiting for someone in their circle of friends to speak up and not be afraid of being shunned.
Well, within my friends, I know they're not flat earthers. I know that, like, as a fact. I've known them almost my whole life. That's just not who they are. But like other people, yeah, I probably walked past the flat earther. I've probably walked past a murderer.
You probably spoken to flat earthers. The hot chick that you were thinking about last week when you got your coffee, she was probably a flat earther. And you know what? When you talk about her about flat Earth, she's going to give you her number next week. You never know what's going to happen. In fact, flat Earth could be the best thing to ever happen to your life. But then again, you're correct. It could be the worst thing. You never know.
Even if, let's just say, flat Earth is true, I'm sorry, I will never go up to a girl and that be the conversation starter.
How do you know? What if she's got a T-shirt that you say, "Oh my goodness, this is definitely a flat Earther girl"? I'm going to open the combo with that.
Cause I live in, like, okay, Just the chances of that are so slim that like I wouldn't even
No, they're
risk
not
it.
that slim, dude. They're not that slim, dude. There's tens upon tens upon tens of millions of flat earthers, and there's more people than the flat earthers who don't believe in the mainstream cosmogony, which means how everything got here, and cosmology, which means what everything's doing right now. So, for
I live
example, they
in
did a poll, real quick, they did a poll among young people, you know, a certain demographic. I think it was like 18 to 20, 18 to 30 or something like that. And 40% of the respondents to the poll said they don't believe the mainstream cosmology. That means that if that portion, having a discussion about alternate cosmology would be something they'd be interested in. Go ahead.
what you said a lot right there.
Yeah, dude, it's the same with any topic, like mainstream politics. Like probably 30 to 40% of people that you meet are not interested in mainstream politics. They have alternative ideas. And the only reason that they talk about mainstream politics is because they're in social circles where they think it's not cool to talk about. Now, this is a well-known phenomenon in psychology. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like people shun themselves from talking about certain topics until they know for a fact that a certain amount of their social group accepts it. And then once that tipping point occurs, then they talk about it freely and they don't care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about flat Earth, but not in the sense of it's true. I could we've like the topic of flat Earth has came up, and how it came up is probably exactly how you think it came up. Like stupid theory, can't believe people believe this,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, bigotry. Yeah, bigotry. So see, the thing is once you know the Earth is flat, dude, or at least you know that what the mainstream is telling us is a big crock of crap. When you hear people talk with incensed bigotry against people who believe in alternative cosmologies, it's going to stir something inside you. And you're going to be like, dude, you need to stop treating people that way. Quit being a bigot. That's going to be your attitude. I mean, unless you're a moral coward, then you just, whatever anybody says bad about anyone else, just watch happen. But I doubt that's who you are as a person. You're probably going to be annoyed by people talking crap about people when they know nothing about the topic.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I believe it. There's been times where I see people, I've overheard people like talking about it, and they say it like in a wrong way, and I've known since I've listened to you guys that that's wrong. Like I don't say anything because they're gonna instantly be like, bro, are you a flat earther or some shit? But I have thought that.
Imagine that character flaw that other people, if you just engage with the conversation honestly, will then criticize you as being one of the group that they can vilify. You know what that's
Hey,
called, friend? That's called evil bigotry. That's what it's called.
yeah.
So whether you realize it or not, a lot of your friends, whether they claim I'm not racist, I'm not prejudiced, they actually are racist and prejudiced against people that are like flat earthers. Like they consider flat earthers to be like the dregs of human society that are worthy of derision. And that's a character flaw in them, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I want to say like super racist, but I do know some people in our friend group that definitely have some sort of racism, especially towards white people. I don't know if that's counts as racist. They don't say it's real racism, but I feel like any.
Oh yeah. It's only racist. It's only racist when other people do it, right?
I don't want to tell them that because you know what they're gonna say, that I'm racist.
Right. So you notice how like when people start slinging these accusations, they become meaningless, don't they? And really, what they're doing is pointing the finger back at themselves. So if they accuse you of being a flat earther because you talked about flat Earth, the only person they're accusing is themselves and their own bigotry. They're just revealing who they are in their hearts.
Right? I mean, the closest thing to a flat earther I know of is my my band section leader doesn't think Katy Perry went to space, and that's about the closest I've ever gotten.
Sure.
I know that's not flat Earth,
So,
but you know what I mean.
yeah. What are people's response to him saying that?
Well, it was a girl, and she had told me, and I was
Or her?
I didn't say anything like bad, mainly because she's like a really nice person. So I just felt that would be really mean if I honestly tried like debating her or something. So I just didn't say anything.
Yeah. Well, that was decent of you. I mean, that's not even necessarily something that can be debated. He is choosing not to believe something that he saw on TV. I don't think there's any, or she decided not to believe that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I don't know if it's even healthy to debate these types of things. And I think people kind of have to realize that this particular topic here about what is the nature of the surface of the Earth, as far as its geometry is concerned, if it's flat, right, planar in nature, or curved, this is not a debatable topic, anyways. This is objective. So it's about measurements only. It's not about whether or not green is your favorite color. That's subjective. Because what is your favorite color? Just humor me here. Do you have a favorite color, ladies, man?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
Blue.
Okay. Now, would it be fair of me to get into a debate with you about why blue sucks and why I think green is better? It would make no sense. You are you. You like blue. How am I going to tell you what you like is wrong? But people do this all day long. They have all these preferences in life, things that they believe in, things that they choose to engage themselves with. Some people like football. Some people like figure skating. Some people like cricket, right? And so people will get into these stupid debates about, well, football is way better than cricket, and here's all the reasons why. And it's ridiculous to argue about it in the first place, because you're never going to end up on really any solid ground. It turns out that they just like football, and those people over there just like cricket, and there's nothing wrong with that. One is not better than the other. But these are subjective topics, and people love to argue about them. I don't know why we do it. We just do it. And it's the same with politics, right? People have a paradigm that they've had established in their life, and they see the world through this set of eyes, and they go, these are the things that I value, and so I'm going to align myself with a political party that catches a few of the things that I value most. And then I'm going to oppose the other side, who sees the world through a prism and values these other things, and we're going to be at odds with each other because we have these unique individual experiences, yet I have to tell them they're wrong, because if I don't tell them they're wrong and vote my way and get my way, life is not going to be very fun for me because I don't get my way. It's a nightmare out here. And none of this makes any sense, the way that we argue about stuff. These subjective topics are ridiculous, but nonetheless, we have them, right? This is how the world's been developed, and kind of put everybody in opposing positions to one another. And somebody along the line said, hey, we should do the same thing with objective topics, like, is the Earth flat or is it round? Well, there's nothing to argue about. How does it measure? Well, it measures flat. No need to talk about anything else. Now, if someone's upset because they want the Earth, and this is going to sound weird, but they almost want the Earth to be a ball, because there's implications with that. The story behind it has implications. The future has some implications involved if the Earth is a ball. Maybe we're going to be able to explore the galaxies, the vastness of outer space, and it'll be like Star Wars or Star Trek, and we'll meet new creatures, and we'll absorb all this knowledge, and there will be world peace and blah blah blah. Even though, even in the futuristic stuff, they're always at war. So I don't know why people prefer certain things, and so they adopt it as their paradigm, when in reality we just have to accept what is. And what is that the Earth is measurably flat. It is not moving, and it certainly seems to be contained. Nothing to argue about.
All right. Sounds cool.
Sorry for the diatribe. It's just I want people to understand this is not something we have to debate. It really isn't. There's no arguments. There's just measurements.
Hello. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you agree the Earth is flat?
It's not really an agree-disagree topic. It's just measured flat. There is no curvature that we can find. So I know the Earth is flat.
How you know?
Yeah.
How
Did you
how
ask
you
how
know?
do I know? How do I know? Um, oh, let's see. Where do I start? I'll try to keep it concise. We've checked, not just asking people, but we've checked firsthand knowledge type situations where we go out and look across the surface of water to see if we have any kind of drop over distance, which would be required on a sphere. Well, there is no drop over distance. So across the surface of the water, and apparently the Earth is somewhere in the ballpark of 70% water, that means 70% of the Earth is flat. So there's no possibility geometrically that the Earth could be a sphere when 70% of its surface is flat and horizontal.
Mhm. Okay,
Mhm.
but why the whole world is accept the Earth is low? It's not flat.
Well, because most of the people on the Earth have been run through uh, the state-run education systems where the curriculum mandates they teach the children that the Earth is a sphere. And so everybody is grown up at a very young age to believe in the globe Earth mythos, and then it just propagates from there. That's why most of the people believe that. And it also doesn't help that there is a constant barrage of globe propaganda everywhere that you look.
So that means that humans don't have technology to see that how Earth is look like in actual world. Like
Yeah, we don't
China,
actually. Yeah,
China don't have, America don't have, Russia don't have. They're just lying that Earth is globe.
well, it would appear that way. I can't really prove that they're lying, but that's what they're telling people. People choose to believe it. So, is it a lie? I don't know. I mean, they sell fiction novels at the bookstore all the time, and people pick those up knowing that it's not true, and yet they read it anyway. So, is it a lie? I guess probably not.
Hmm. Okay. And that means that you are not claiming the Earth is flat. You are just imagining that there is something that you don't know actually what is that. Damn correct?
No, I know that the Earth, the surface that we live on, the surface of the Earth, is flat, planar in nature. It's horizontal, it's flat, there is no sphere. Now, the overall nature of the Earth, the construction of it, what it looks like as a whole, what the Earth is, and how that looks, I have no idea.
Mm. Go ahead. Mm. Kind of hard to understand your conceptions or like that.
It's not really conceptual. This is material. We go out into the world or reality every day, even where you sit. The building that you are in right now, well, it was constructed using a level, right? It has to be flat and horizontal on its surface, or at its foundation, and every floor of it, so that stuff doesn't roll off the table, or your furniture doesn't end up on the other side of the room. Everything is flat, level, horizontal, and horizontal means parallel with the plane of the horizon. So the Earth itself is the reference to make everything flat, level, and horizontal. This is just how we live. This is how we experience the Earth as flat. It's not conceptual. It is our reality.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yo, what is this?
24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel.
It's a dump truck.
Yo, says who?
Hello.
Yo.
How you doing, Sky?
Hey man, I invited iOS as a friend of mine. He's a good friend of mine. We don't really talk about this topic, but recently he's been sending me some pictures. He's interested in what NASA does, and so I just figured I'd send him this VC, so that he checks out what goes on here and so.
Sure. Is he here with us right now?
Yeah. Just to listen
What's your
in,
friend's name?
see what's going on.
Fine. I gotta go to the hospital. See you tonight.
I wish
What's his?
he was there earlier,
What's his
though. We were
name?
speaking about some interesting things.
Okay. Your friend, what's his name? Is it
Hmm?
Alexei? Who is it? What's his name?
Oh, iOS. He just joined the server. He's in the VC
Oh,
iOS.
iOS. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, iOS, welcome. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Nobody bites here. If you just even think this is complete BS and you want to tell me about it, more than welcome to do that. Although we may, talk about why you think it's BS. So, anyway,
Let's catch iOS up to date on NASA. So a couple months ago, they were reclassified as an intelligence agency. So now they can legally just broadcast propaganda without even questions. You can't question them anymore. So there you go. Now you know how you love NASA.
Right. Yeah, I believe that.
Really? Good.
No, I
You
like
don't
this
believe.
Free
You don't.
Atlas.
You don't
I've
believe
been
me.
watching
You
the
don't
news
believe
on
me,
it.
right? You don't believe me?
Me? No, I do.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
I
what
have a
NASA
question.
stands for?
What,
To
one
deceive.
second. Yeah, iOS and Sky, I got a question for you guys. Would you agree that if we can consistently measure the surface of water to be flat over distances where there would have to be a large amount of curvature, would that be a problem for the globe?
I've been believing in flat Earth for more than 5 years now.
Oh, you're right, man. It's iOS that's on the fence?
No, he's not really anything. He's one of my close buddies, and I just figured I'm chilling in here, so I just invited
Cool.
him.
I'm not
to
too big into the flat Earth. I mean, like I'm open minded about it. I have a friend that's big into it. I mean, I see how it's possible. The whole firmament and going around Antarctica. But I haven't thought too much about it.
well, so if you've got a friend that's into it quite a bit, and the couple of things that you just mentioned, let's talk about those for just a couple seconds. The idea of the firmament is a biblical idea, right? It comes from Scripture. So we can't prove or we can't touch any kind of firmament, or describe its properties or anything like that. But what we can do is see if we have consequences of some kind of seal or containment over the earth. And that would be the gas pressure that we breathe, right? That's the main thing. A pressurized system has to be contained. Now, the other thing regarding Antarctica, there is a lot of quote unquote flat earthers out there that are trying to push a model of the earth using an azimuthal equidistant map projection. And then they'll have a moon and a sun going in a circle around it, and they're going to call that the flat earth and the flat earth model. Nobody here ascribes to that idea, mostly because they're very easily debunked. We cannot really conceptualize what the earth really looks like.
Gotcha.
So,
Yes. I seen like I thought a good YouTube video like where there it was showing like it's not like perfectly like circular, and I'm not totally sure, but like yes, kind of has some
but you see what
curves
I'm
in
saying?
there.
we're not gonna offer you any kind of map or model or anything. All we can tell you is that the surface of the Earth is measurably flat. Now, what it looks like after that, I mean, I have no idea. I don't know where the limit of it is. You know, if it, even if it has anything to do with Antarctica, I don't really know. No one knows.
Yeah, gotcha. Interesting. Weird.
Yeah. We do our best to be honest with people about what we do know and what we don't know. And even if we speculate, we'll say we're speculating, but we try to keep it as just bare bones, honest in here as possible.
Nice. Cool.
Yep. Well, anyways, welcome. Yeah, hang out. There's people coming in and out of here all the time. If you got any other
Have you
questions,
seen the
go
news
ahead and
about
ask
this
them.
3-eye atlas?
Oh yeah.
The interstellar? Yeah,
About what?
that's an interesting one. The three-eye atlas.
The seemingly sentient or intelligent backwards facing comet nonsense that doesn't act like a comet. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't know anything about that weird stuff.
Yeah, apparently there's a comet that's just randomly changing its course, seeming as if it's
Right,
not a
got that
random
non-gravitational
ice rock.
acceleration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're asking my opinion,
what's
a lot
up?
of times when I see stuff that's put in the news that has to do with like space and comets and black holes and stuff, my personal opinion, nobody else in here, but I think what they're trying to do is hint at things that are a bit more esoteric when they do that than they're really talking about anything physical. But that's just me.
So we know the comet's not powered by an ion engine because I saw somebody make an ion engine, put it in a vacuum chamber, pulled the vacuum, and the engine stopped working. So ion engines don't work in outer space either.
I'm an idiot. What's an ion engine? You gotta tell me.
You're basically directing electrons away from a surface, and then that pushes off the air and pushes you the other direction.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But it requires air to work, so it's got something to push off of.
This is what it comes down to, man. Right? Like, if we get a large body of water, let's say, for example, we have a 10-mile lake or a 10-mile section of the ocean, there would have to be a certain amount of curvature over that distance if the Earth were a globe. It has to be there. Okay, and there would be about
Gotcha.
60,
Interesting.
60, yeah, there would be 66 foot of curvature over 10 miles, just according to the globe Earth math. Okay, just based on gravity and the size of the globe. 10 mile, anywhere you are on the Earth and you have a 10-mile body of water, there should be 66 foot of curvature over that distance. So what we've done is gone out and actually, gone looking for that curvature that would have to be there, because it's pretty easy to detect 66 foot of curvature over 10 miles. And every single time we go and test these distances, even longer distances, we can't find any curvature. We can zoom in, like with a camera, right? Let's say we have a 10-mile lake and I'm standing on one side of the lake and I just set the camera up just above the surface of the water. And then I zoom in across the lake, the 10-mile lake. Okay.
Yes.
I shouldn't be able to see my buddy over on the other side of the lake. He should be hidden behind over 50 foot of curvature, like behind the horizon. He should be hidden behind the horizon by 50 foot or more than 50 foot. but we can zoom in across, and you could see his feet standing on the beach, right? You could, you can test that over and over again. Then you could go to a 20-mile lake and do the same thing. Whereas over a 20-mile lake, there should be 266 foot of curvature on a globe.
Right.
So,
I get what you're saying.
yeah,
That's really
man.
interesting. It's
Yeah,
thinking a little bit differently.
Yeah. We can shoot lasers across these distances as well, like really high powered lasers.
It shouldn't be possible because the curve.
Exactly. So it's
Crazy.
stacks and stacks of different tests that have been done. We can't find any curvature, and then you go looking, throughout all of history, and go, okay, who went and measured the globe? Who went and found the curvature? And you don't find any tests that have been done. You'll find that it was kind of theorized like into existence. It wasn't something that people actually went out.
I heard NASA was the one who like came up with the whole idea that the world is a globe, and everyone else before them was a flat earther, something like that.
No, that
rings a bell.
Well, not really. I mean, it's not true because NASA didn't go up to space until the 60s. So people thought it was a globe, way, 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 way before that.
Sure.
So yeah, like I've never heard anyone say NASA. Everyone thought it was flat, and then NASA proved it's a globe.
Yeah, so I thought I read something about that. Like all the ancient people, like apparently thought Earth was flat, and then NASA was the first one to come up with it was a globe. I thought I heard or read.
Yeah, well, that's correct in a bit. Like all of the ancient cultures knew that the Earth was flat. They all had very similar depictions of the system that we live in, right? Being like a flat plane that's not moving within like a contained system. And yeah, all different cultures all over the world that apparently didn't have communication with each other all came up with the same thing, right? A flat, stationary, enclosed system.
Yeah.
And then about 2,000 years ago, apparently, okay, there was some Greek guys like Pythagoras, okay, and people like that who first suggested that the Earth was a globe. And it wasn't based on any experiments that they did. It was just based on philosophical reasoning, basically. And they thought that spheres were the most perfect shape. And they kind of worship spheres. Pythagoras and his cult kind of worship spheres. And they thought, oh, because spheres are the most divine shape, the Earth must be a sphere. And then, it didn't really catch on, right? Because most people were flat earthers back then. So they were the first people apparently to suggest that the Earth was a sphere.
Oh,
and then it wasn't until much more recently in history, I think it was about 500 years ago or something like that. That was when it fully caught on, right? And the Jesuits went around the world pushing the heliocentric model. And they basically went on like a crusade around the world, pushing, telling people, oh, the Earth's a sphere. This is how it works. Heliocentric. Yeah, but no one ever went out and actually measured any curvature. Yeah, it's interesting when you look into how the globe became a thing. Yeah, if you have a look in the side chat, old dude posted some of the depictions that I was talking about. Got the Norse, the Hebrew, the Mayans, Navajo, Japanese, Sumerians, Incan, Egyptians, Hindu. Yeah, all the ancient cultures had a very similar idea of this system that we live in.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Indio?
So I heard you talking to this guy about a 10-mile observation and how they're supposed to be 66 feet of drop. I actually have almost exactly 10 miles. A little fishing boat 10 miles away that you can see sailing on the top of the water. So let me get my shit together. I'll present it.
Awesome.
And to answer your first question, Indio, that will be the sky is up. You asked what's up, so yeah, the sky.
Did anyone call me?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
sky.
Yeah, what's
his
up?
name's.
Sorry,
We were
I thought
talking
you were
about the
talking
sky.
about something. The sky. Yeah, sorry. What's up?
What's up? That will be you.
Well, he's actually down on the list,
Yeah,
Jamsy.
yeah.
Down below you. He's below you.
Below
Sky
me
is
is
down
hell.
there, like down near the bottom.
Below me is Sheol. There's hell.
Now below you is car.
But yeah, sorry. What was the actual question though?
No, someone asked the
So
same question you asked. Someone asked what's up, and I replied the sky, and then you reply, oh,
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
said my name or something.
yeah. Because that's what I heard, but I thought maybe I heard wrong, and someone was just calling me, so I got confused there.
All right, Indio is back
Alright.
to whatever he was gonna post, right,
no,
Indio?
I'm not back. Give me a second.
Just killing the air.
I
Well,
love
you
that
get your
Jamsey's
stuff.
chilling on his Xbox. That's so dope.
Yeah, I just got in the house
Transfer
and
the
I'm gonna
console.
chill for a while.
Yeah, transfer the console and just sit it out. That's the way.
Yeah, the connection in the console is pretty decent, and the sound and the headsets are comfy. So
Can you see the side chat and stuff, Jamsy?
not the side chat. No.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll save my brain from the brain rots in the side chats. Saving memory space.
All right, I'm good. So I'm gonna be posting like 4 different things. Can people just like refrain from posting anything for a second? So I'm gonna post a boat. You'll be able to see it sailing like in front of the horizon. You can see the waves splashing up on the hull. This boat is like I think 10.6 miles from the camera. I'll post all the mathematics. I'll post the position of the boat and all that stuff. So how we know where the boat is. There's a website called marinetraffic.com, which will give you the coordinates of and a picture of what the boat looks like. So you can easily verify that this is the same boat. Okay, so that's a give in just a clipped MP4 in case you want it that way. And there's the boat at the bottom. It has the coordinates of the boat at the bottom of this screenshot. Here's Google Cylinder. I mean Google Earth. So that's the position of the boat on Google Cylinder. That red circle, that's where the horizon should be, according to the globe mathematics. Oh, we have a parrot saying refraction. Oh, so that's funny that you said that because you're cooked. You made a big mistake. So here's a buoy. See that? See the buoy? And here is, and there's the air and water temperature. They're within less than 1 degree of each other. So you can forget about any refraction because there is no mixing. The air is mixed, right? There is no what you would call heat flux, meaning the temperature isn't going from from the water to the air or the air to the water. It's at equilibrium. So yeah, you're gonna have to try again on that. Okay, if you think I wasn't there, and that's the wrong time. I took a picture of the clock too because you have to be like ridiculously freaking thorough with globe earthers, the super fucking skeptics about everything but the globe. Got to take a picture of everything. I even have to take a camera to take a picture of the freaking camera because you guys are ridiculous. So now I'll post them.
And you're using infrared as well.
Yeah, that's 950 nanometer infrared.
So that also, so you got the water temperature, the air temperature similar, and infrared. That's freaking awesome.
Dude, I like planned this for like 2 weeks. It's very rare that the water temperature and air temperature are the same. Like only a couple times a year it even happens. So, and then there's the mathematics. That boat should be 20 feet under the horizon, but it's obviously in front of the horizon. And the horizon's at least 10 times or 2 times farther than what it should be. So, like he was saying, if you look at this, the surveyor drop at 10.6 miles is 74 feet. That means that boat from eye level should be dropped down 74 feet. In the horizon, if it was dropped down, the boat should be blocked by 19. It should be 19 foot of the boat should be missing behind the horizon cutoff. So yeah, I did this on the 18th. I actually have a post on Twitter, like from the same observation of like a lighthouse and another boat, which you can barely see because the boat's only like has like a 4 foot water height above the water because it's like a speedboat. Yeah, so hold on, I'll post the lighthouse. Why not? I'm here. Let's freaking do it. Let's do it. Now, I took a flight the other day into Boston because I was away, and I got lucky and actually got the flight path and took a picture of this same freaking lighthouse from about 2,000 feet. Yeah, so says who laid it out. DJ laid it out. The surface of the water of the Earth should be curving, and all measurements show it's not.
I love this observation. Awesome.
It was difficult. It was frickin' freezing, man. I'm telling you, I was freezing. Like I can't even tell you how cold I was because it was super windy.
Oh yeah, 45 degrees and windy. That's gotta suck.
Yeah, it was like 16 knots or something, which is like 20 mile per hour, and it was like constant. You know, the ocean is where the breeze is just doesn't let up, and like you can't operate a P9, a P1000 with gloves on. That's just not even possible. Like, so yeah, it was rough, but like I was determined. I pretty much I think I started planning this. I started looking at the weather. I had like a window of like 3 days I could do it, and I'm like. Freaking first day it was like snowing or raining, and then the next day I could have went, but the day after that was saying that was like the water temperature and air temperature would be almost the same. So it was about when I headed there, it was about a 6 degree difference. But after I got there and set up, because I was taking screenshots of the buoy like every 15-20 minutes, But then by the time I set up and got all this, it was like the difference was like less than a degree. So I'm like, hell yeah, got lucky. And then the plane, dude, I'm like, I'm on the plane, and I'm like, that's a fucking lighthouse that's taking video up down there. So I took a picture of it. Because it's like the only runway that even faces in that direction. They have to like fly out over the ocean and then fly back into Logan Airport. But normally they just run like parallel to the coast. So it only like I just got so lucky that they happened to land on that runway. So I don't know who you were talking to, but this is the stuff we're talking about. Now we go out, we do an observation, we test the goal of mathematics to say there's supposed to be curvature of a certain rate, and it's just not there. It's just never there. Now, knowing this, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to? So we have observations on one hand, and we have a bunch of people that, when questioned, don't know how they know the Earth is a globe, but they know it's a globe. Are we supposed to go with them? People that don't actually know anything and have never done any tests and have never done any observations, and the best they can do is like, I watch TV and saw pictures from space. Well, I didn't watch TV. I went out and observed what the Earth is, and I'm going with that. I'm not going with the television set. We know how that went in 2020, man.
Yeah, I just put it into the Earth curve calculator with the refraction slider. had to max it out, and even with it maxed out, there should still be like 12.9 foot hidden or something.
Yeah, I got another. I'll show you the other boat. This isn't so good because you can't really see the boat. You can just see a shimmer, but it's this thing. I'll show. I'll post a picture of the boat, like where it is. That's this little thing.
The only thing
This
I can
tiny
see them
boat.
picking on is how do we know the camera height?
It can't be. Well, I mean, Google Earth says it's 15 feet, and then I added a couple of feet because I was on top of a picnic table.
Nice.
That looks about right.
I was gonna say 12 feet because I've been to that exact same spot, Indio. I know where you did that.
Yeah, I know you know, bro. I know you know. Yeah, it's like 15 feet above sea level, dude. I mean,
Yeah. This is a pretty good observation. Good thing that you have all the variables in there. Pretty cool, dude.
you know,
This
I was
this is
thinking
one of
like
the
we
top.
should come up. Yeah, we should come up with a checklist, dude. Like an actual like best practices checklist of like what should be included in an observation, right? If it can be done, right? Air, water temperature, humidity, wind, right? Time of day, maybe tide height, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely important. Yeah, this is awesome.
Look how
This
small
is a
that
good one.
boat is, DJ. Look how tiny that boat is. How like its height above the water. It's like not even. It's barely as high as a pickup truck top. So in that video, you can see that shimmer. That's that boat. So I got the thing for it. Hold on. Is that it? Yeah. I think this is it. Yeah.
Wow, that's
This
nice.
is it. Yeah, this is its position. So It's about 8 miles, I think it was. 7.3 miles. I also got some other stuff because I took about 2 minutes of video and I got some other stuff. I haven't been able to like parse it out, but I do. I definitely have like buoys in the water. Like they have navigational buoys that are like because there's a shipping lane, right? And at the it's like a road, So I mean, so on each side of the shipping lane, there's buoys, and all those buoys are supposed to be past like the horizon. Like I shouldn't even see them, and I see like dozens of them. So. Yeah, another nail in the coffin, dude. I don't even know how many nails are in there at this point. Now, says you said, what about wind refraction? There was some turbulence from the wind that I got in other clips I have, but you can see that it's going left to right, or yeah, right to left rather. You can see basically the wind blowing, like the turbulence, but instead of it being like a turbulence, like a hot road, it's basically going left to right. It's pretty easy to distinguish it.
Well, I'm glad you covered that because I was just talking shit.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, wind does cause like turbulence and stuff. It causes turbulent effects, but this was just left to right. I mean, I guess you could make a plausible argument if it was like going away or toward you or something, that your direction. You know what I
Sure.
mean? If it was just, I guess, but that would be
think
a
if
stretch.
anything, a strong wind like that is just going to cause spray near the surface, and that's going to make it even worse. You shouldn't even see as far.
Yeah. I'll pull up
Yeah,
for you.
that's true.
So I just uploaded an infrared, but instead of the black and white, it's the it comes out purple. If you I turned it to monochrome after this, so this is like magenta or something. But anyway, you can see the wind like turbulence going like right to left easily. Doug, yes, I did take into account Grover's feelings, and that's why I did it, to hurt them. Dude, Setsu, I really, really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I've saved all of that into a channel in the server, so I'll be presenting that one quite often. That's a great one. I love it.
Especially because it's right at the 10 miles, and we always talk about 10 miles, 66 feet. So that's just like really convenient. When he said that, I'm like, oh shit, that thing I did, it's 10 miles. I'm like, we actually have an example now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's they can't whine about refraction for this one either. They will, but they shouldn't.
They'll say something like, "There's always refraction."
Yeah, or their argument is going
and that means there's never a geometric horizon ever.
Yeah, their argument for this one will be, what about eclipses?
Yeah, where's the edge?
I like how you can see the turbulence moving in a direction, though. I haven't paid attention to that before. It's a really good example.
Yeah, I got really. I mean, other than the pain I suffered, yeah, I got lucky. Dude, like, listen, I'm very weather don't bother me. It's true. I mean, like seriously, weather really doesn't bother me. But that shit was cold. I actually like when I finished, I like went into a coffee shop and like warmed up. That's like unheard of, man. Usually I just do my thing. and just tough it out. But I was like, damn, I'm cold. I need to fucking take a break from this shit.
Yeah, it's cold on the water when there's a strong wind.
Yeah, there's like no hiding from it. Like there's no the thing about the breeze is it was like constant, like it was a fan. You know what I mean? It wasn't like there was no gusts. It was just like you were like in front of a fan that was just blowing at 23 miles per hour or whatever it was. I also got this from the plane. I just thought it was interesting. I don't really know what to make of it. Like the light coming through the clouds like that. It's just kind of cool. Because they're always like perspective. Like, where's the perspective in this? Like, I'm not seeing it, bro. The perspective rays. So that ship in the purple video, I'll show you. That ship has been anchored out there for like a month, more than a month. It's anchored about 13 miles off the maybe it was 17. It's out there. I also got a picture of that from the airplane. That is let me see. That is this ship here. That's that ship right there. Dude, because I went on the 18th and I flew in on the 28th, and I'm like, I'm just like the plane's landed, and I'm just fucking look out the window, like, there's a fucking ship I took pictures of 10 days ago. And then I look and I see the lighthouse. I'm like, son of a bitch. So there's another thing I could see from the airplane. It's called the Bourne Bridge or the Sagamore Bridge. There's two of them. They cross the Cape Cod Canal. They're about 50 miles away. I could easily see the road deck. So even with trees in the way, I could see the road deck because they're pretty high. I didn't get a picture of that though, and it didn't come out because I was just taking these with a phone. I think Globe Earthers, like, they really don't fathom how far like these boats are out there. Like, I think they think like they're like a lot closer. 10 miles is pretty far away. I mean, think about how long it takes to walk 10 miles.